My name is Chris, and welcome to the What If Zuku was the only overpowered character? Like, basically, like a gun. So, he wasn't born quirkless. He had a quirk called lost memories. Basically, you lose your memories every time. And plus, but his real power is his or it's infinity and zero. Basically, he can be like that, or if you really want to tick him off, there's 3 different stages. There's stage 1 of him being calm, but stage 10 is him, and then stage unlevel thing would be him, and then the overkill, or above than that, would be that one. So there's like 4. No, that's 4. Yeah, sorry, I just woke up a little bit ago, so hard for me to. If you hear me muttering, it's just, okay. So now, oh, 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 and in this what if he's also, has a sister called Zumi. She has the same powers as her mother and her father has. So now, they both hit 4 years old. They went to doctors, and then so they went to check on, or he went on Zumi. Both of them have quirks. Zumi, you have fire and manipulation, and Zuku, you have, never seen it in a person. As Inko is worried. Like, what does he have? He has lost memories. It allows the user to lose his or her memories. But if that quirk got removed, then every memories of everyone's and goes inside him. Like, basically, it's only worked on animals before, and they survived. But Zuku, you're different. So, How so? As he says, how so? As 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 Inko, or actually a doctor says, then, so, but that's not all that you will regain. You also gain those other people's memories and those other people's quirks. Basically, and it's hard to say, but it also fused your like molecules with them. Like basically, it's like a skill fused into your body, or all of them. As they're like, huh, okay. As Zumi says, ooh, that's cool. As he says, that's easy for you to say, sister. Yeah, fire manipulation. As when they go back to school, Bakugo asked what his quirk is. Well, as he was like that. Well, my quirk is lost memories. It's, and yes, I'm being serious about that. If someone tries to take away that quirk, think about it as a grenade. My pen is or my quirk is like a pen. Once it explodes, or or once it gets removed, and all that extra memories things goes inside with with the so many quirks inside. Basically making me the powerfulest one. As Bakugo's like, okay, so as he said, as also they evolved from quirks to be or he says that like those quirks, it will be like wedged into my body, basically into my DNA, so I can use them whatever I please. As everyone and that heard him say or explain to Bakugo is like, whoa. So basically, we're looking at a number one person that can, yes, as he says, yes, the only person, or see, by meaning, I think I know how it works. See, if I meet somebody like you guys before, then I can, it will, all those memories of yours will get copied and put into my body with your quirks, basically. And then they're like, okay. So now the 15 comes around. As he meets a sludge villain, and he says, huh, you want my body, don't you? Too bad. I already am possessing it. So, I'm leaving this up to you, sister. As his sister says gladly, as as she uses her fire, but it had no effect. So he says, "Huh." As he accessed one of his own ability, level 10. As he used it, and he basically shattered the Baku, or no, he shattered. Well, sorry. He shattered the sludge villain into pieces, basically turning him, and their bodies moved into a empty container as he gives them to All Might. As he tells him that All Might, as he give him a good work, okay? As All Might flies away with the Solitarian, and the Bakugo doesn't get attacked. So, and, as then, when he looks around and sees everybody, then his quirks thing, as he's like, huh. As his power thing, not his quirk, but his other power, he's basically immortal. He could take a cannon, things like cannonballs, and there's nothing. No damages to him. That scares me. Even if you threw a moon at him, he still could survive it. Or a meteor. Sorry. So, his sister, or he actually was like, okay, let's get this over with. As he was that first one done on a paper part, he was faster than everyone. That didn't surprise even the most girls. Even Momo, because she's like, or in her head, she says, he does that faster than me. As Tenya is like, huh, well, in his head, he says, well, he is is smart. So, he says, as Zumi says, or she was done 5 minutes after Zuku. So, then, then he says, huh. As he sees everybody, Like, And he actually gathered up, like, with his power of when he was using 10% of his, he actually moved so fast, even cameras can't even pick him up. Only was robots. Hunts were flying all the way to, like, pile of, like, highest pile as one of those fake buildings. As he used his own chop thing, like, he basically, as he says, you disgrace me. As he destroyed the entire pile of, like, 1-pointers, 2-pointers, 3-pointers. Under 0 seconds. Like, basically, let me show you the image that basically it's similar to his decay quirk. So everybody's like, Mina does that face, like, human Pikachu is, like, trying to say that, hey, you should have just leave some of them alive. As he says, alright, how about that one that over there? There's 5 of them. As he says, okay, I'm making a human Pikachu the same thing in canon, but he is more, like, obnoxious. Except for, I'm just removing his weirdo thing. So, Baku goes like, well, I'm glad that they're on our side. Yeah. But I'm glad that all of you are still safe. As his sister took care of one of the 3-pointers, or 2 3-pointers things, but she was gonna get crushed by as Zuku quickly runs over, and he was at his 10%, and as he grabs his sister, and there was no time for him to to get, like, because how fast the wheels were, as he had to throw her into Bakugo's arms. As he gets run over by what are those called? Tank treads. The ones that are on a tank that was military tank, more accurate term. So, tank treads. So, alright. And they think, okay, he's dead. Moving on. As they see him literally lifting the zero pointer and throwing him across the entire fake city. Basically, like, or actually, scratch that, threw him all the way to the sun. And melting that zero pointer, as he says, that thing really annoys me. As everyone is, let me show you. Everyone is shocked. Like, they couldn't believe that someone with that much power, as his sister even was shocked. As he turns and looks at his sister and says, well, then, sorry, I was, so his sister says, wow, how did you survive that? As he says, well, I learned this new power in my body, separate from my quirk. It's called Infinity Level. It's a unique type of power. It allows me to basically do hand-to-hand combat. And it's like, who's that one character that's in DC? Doomsday. So he says it's just like DC's Doomsday creature thing. But mine makes his look weaker than anyone's. So he says there's only 4 parts to me. You guys are at level 1 with me. As he was pretty powerful. As Tenya asked him, saying, like, what was, like, that one that that is level 10. See, he is a little bit weaker than my other 2 forms. But let's move on from that, okay? And they're like, ooh. Mina's like, ooh, that's cool. So, basically, if you are at level 1, we're safe, right? Yes. That's correct, Mina. But if you are at level 10 or higher, then things get too crazy. Basically, think about it as a game. As they're like, okay, it's like a game. Level 1 is like nothing. Huh. So, then everybody got back to their house, and I'm skipping the ball throw because everyone knows that Zuku can throw the ball. As he says, or actually before class, he says, well, I'm a second one here, so, or where's her second one? As he had, or when he was doing that, he knew where Mr. Aizawa was. better keep him, or making sure that he doesn't get disturbed. As his sister says, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. So the and funny enough, Mr. Aizawa woke up a little bit as he says, you two must be Class 1A students. Yes. Or, actually, Principal Nezu and everybody's confused. Wait, so his quirk is called Lost Memories, but what was all those powers? And doing all that stuff, and so then everybody showed up, and I'm skipping or I'm just putting him in Class 1A because of it. So or actually, Zumi was in Class A, Zuku was in Class B. So Mina asked Zumi how is he single and all that stuff. As he says, you must be a blood hero. I'm very thankful to meeting you. And having you as a teacher is... Okay. As they're like, yeah, nice to meet you too. These are... students showed up, and guess who it was? It was... I used to have photo here. All of them. All of them. Was in Class 1B. And Zumi and the rest are in Class A. So Mina and Suyu or Ashura, Grady Girl, and Jiro, Visible Girl, and Momo even wanted to get too used to know Zuku better. So yeah, so I'm skipping the ball throw because Zuku threw a ball so hard. And he says, that's no big deal. Compared to throwing that giant robot into the sun was quite entertaining. As they're like, well. And only people that really doesn't know about his power is actually that white-haired girl and the pony. So they both asked Zuku if the what is power about. As everyone looks at him and asks that same questions, yeah, come on. As he says, all right, my powers is lost memories. It's unique one. It's a unique quirk that allows me to, once it gets removed from my body, think about it as a grenade. As once it, if it, quirk is the pin. When you pull a pin out, but instead of having that big explosion thing, and because I'm already meeting all of you for first time, if that quirk gets removed, then all of your memories and your quirks will be transferred into my body, like copied. As he, and they're like, well, that's cool, actually. But as that guy says, well, problem is none of us have that power to remove quirks. Yeah. As they asked, or Class 1A asked Hizumi that same question about her brother. As she says, well, it's lost memories. That's his quirk. But his power is infinity level. We all know about infinity level, but lost memories one? As Tinya never heard of that. So she went into details of what it does. Of, well, if he already met you all, so only person that he hasn't met was Mr. Aizawa over there. As he in, or it's like, so as he, or Redhead says, or actually Human Pikachu says, so wait, your brother is literally a gun of powers, right? Or actually, he says, so what does it do? Well, after meeting all of you, if that quirk gets removed, then, or stolen, and then he ends up, like, copies all of your memories, and copies all of your powers into his body. It's basically, and they evolve that. It's basically evolve your quirks into his skills. So basically, he can use Todoroki's ice and fire ability as his own, like, attribute kind. So Mr. Aizawa was hearing all about this. So he says, well, what would he do if he met me first time? Well, it's nothing at first, but when, as he says, or actually Zumi says, hold on, you have race quirk, right? Yes. Well, if you erase my brother's quirk, I don't know if that counts as removing his quirk. But if you also can. So then I'm skipping the ball throw and heroes versus villains. Here's J Hay thing. As Class A and Class B went to there, and then he says, "Okay, sister, ready?" As he goes over to the bushes and grabs, guess who? Or actually, scratch that. Sorry. So they went in, or actually, they meet 13 in, and he is glad. And then he ends up acting like a calm, cool kid thing. So Mina and the rest of them are blushing because of that. Imagine all the girls like her, and her, and like the single row, and third from the in the third row, third like Pinky. I can't even say her name. And the girl that has her and her were and Class A, all of those girls, like Maya, Asheray, Ochako, Raka, Jiro, and Momo, and Invisible Girl. They all start blushing. And even 13 was blushing. So then, there we were like, okay. When they entered through the USJ, they get ambushed as he sees a portal opens up, as he sees thousands and thousands of villains, like with unique quirks. Even a Nomu, and like all of them. So he remembers that they're here to kill his friends too. As he gets to level 10, as he goes downstairs, like dun 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 dun, as he went full, or actually scratch that. Nomu went and attacked Zuku, like one punched into his stomach, as he says, "Huh, you're a feisty one, aren't you, big fella?" Or should I say Nomu? As he like used one foot and kicked him in like a chest thing, and then and all that. So that one kick sent Nomu flying, destroying all the villains with just one cut. Whoosh, as he says, huh, all right. He really did a number on me. As he looks at his chest and sees a dent in his chest. As he says, huh, well, as he flies down and took care of or actually before, Eraserhead says, Zuku, what? And leave the no moon. As he says, no, you guys just need to get out of here. I don't want any of you to get harmed. Because I can see it. And as he says, I can see it, and that Nomu will smash your head into the ground till you die apart. And you, 13, will get in your power against you. As he is so so he says just now, get out quick. As he remembers it. So as they're like, hey, quit being a hero. And as he flies down, starts punching the villains quick. And he also smashed Nomu's brain with the back of his foot, like his heel. Boom. As he's like, that's one down now. Who's next? As he looks at Zumi, Zumi, come on, let my big brother kill those Senogons. Okay? As Eraserhead says, you don't get the attention, right? As his sister says, I would rather have that than having you get or having both of you get killed by these lowlives things. Hey, trust my brother. As he knows that she's right. Or 13 says she's right, though. Because in his eyes, trust him. As he goes in, and he now you really started to tick me off. As he went, those Super Saiyans go all out, like mega explosion kind. Yeah. So Zuku was basically like that. Super explosion. As he it was as everyone before, or or after they all left, all those students, as he went all out against those pro heroes or villains, as he's like, huh, as this is my level 20 form, as he, this is my low, or this is the, I'm still in control of it, as they're like, woo wee, sheesh, as he flies down and like he took care of all the villains, putting them in handcuffs and yeah. So I said them. So then Zuku says, "Let me show you what I was referring to." As he taps on or used his power of sharing, as he shared his like memories of other Zuku, as he sees him immediately getting crushed by that Nomu, like boom, all that stuff. So, yeah, Zuku was basically, he didn't get suspended because how and he walks away before he says, or he said to Mr. Aizawa, "Thank goodness I didn't kill anybody. That Nomu wasn't human at all." As they're like, okay, what was it? Think about it as a Frankenstein's monster without a undead body parts things. As they're like, wow. As he, like, the next day he was like, huh. Or actually he got suspended before. So he's like, okay, for 2 weeks. As he starts training harder and harder on his control of his levels, more than the, as he says, I'll go to, and they weren't having a apartment. They had a house that they have a training course underneath for just him. So he comes out and he starts training harder and harder every single day, every single minute of his like that. So he's basically to learn control of his level 10, and then he was also, he controlled his own self basically, as he also went all the way to the like godly level. Basically, he trained so much his body was like that. So he says, huh, for those 2 weeks. As he's like, huh, all right. now what we'll work on is my lost memories quirk. As he has everyone's pictures in the, like, from, it's like a phone book, but with like pages of everyone's pictures. Basically, Mina, all the way from like the pro heroes, all the way down to citizens and villains. As he meets All for One's picture, as he says, now I already got everyone. As he's like, okay. As he's buffed. Like, he even his, because how fast he worked on his body, every single second of it. And that's what he looked like. As he, after those 2 weeks were up, he basically looked like that. As when he came back, it was sports festival time. So they're like, as Class A students saw Zuku, or no, Class B students saw Zuku, as both Class A and B saw him, as he says, I'll just wear this outfit. This is school uniform. So, and I'm, as Tinya is like, holy crud. When he like looks around and he saw Zuku, he says, holy crud, did you go out in the gym or something? As Zuku says, yeah. Instead of going to a gym, I already have a gym in my own house. I trained my quirk, or my powers, to gunly level. So, or past gunly level. So now, and that was true. He meets Class A students, or like he meets everybody in 2, and then he also won all 3 medals without any hesitation. As he says, well, as he was polite as compared to Bakugo, as Bakugo got humiliated by Zuko by just getting thrown out of the ring. As he says, now, as he like still trains harder than anyone, as All Might says, they're actually the only person that really didn't know or was asking, is he buffed? A few minutes or a few weeks have passed, but sheesh, he's really working up, or works so hard. Like, he couldn't believe, or she couldn't believe that Zuku works twice as hard as All Might is. So he's like, well then, now it's back to my usual training. as he was trying to pass his ultimate form, like his final form thing. But the only thing that's holding him back from doing it is his mother and his parents that try to keep him calmed down. Like, come on. I know that. And as he says, well, yeah. So, as his agents, like like, Nezu saw him, like, all buffed up, like, says, wow, that boy really, like, went full on throttle on his power. As the Class A and Class B as Zuku. Heck, Midnight was asking Zuku if is he still in control. As he says, yes, Midnight, I'm still in control of my own body. As he was at, let's say, near his ultimate form, that just a hair weaker than it. Just a hair. As he says, As then after sports festival was done, then he trained more and more. Huh? Like he even trained harder and harder as days go past. As the next day he says, and they had a cat named Ashura. So, or I was trying to think of cat names that are in Japan. But then I realized, oh wait, I don't think they have cats in Japan. So, then one day, his his sister, or he actually finally broke that little thread thing of. So he became like way more than his ultimate form. As he says, that's just funny. As his agent internship was with, let me tell ya, his internship was with, hold on, let me pause this. No, I couldn't find it, but I did find Endeavor's picture. Hold on, give me 1 minute to move it over to. So, it was if you've seen the anime of Endeavor punched a Nomu, or it's basically saving one of the pro heroes things. It's like that girl. He was, or actually, let's change it, shall we? So, his agent, she was, or he actually, like, went under, like, Endeavor. So, part 2.